Well, earlier this month, we learned about the Dell family's massive $25 billion donation to create savings accounts for kids. Well, this is all tied to what are being called Trump accounts, a child savings and investment account program created under the Trump administration. Here to share what it means and what parents should know, let's welcome back wealth strategist Debbie Dobbins. Glad to have you with us.
Thanks for having me back, Layla. This is one of my favorite topics, so this is exciting.
What a great idea. First of all, can we just talk about the Trump savings plan and why this was started? What is the end goal here?
Well, I'm not 100% sure what was in Donald Trump's mind, but as soon as I heard that it was going to be in the big, beautiful bill way back in July, I was over the moon because this is just an opportunity for children, for families to learn about money, how to save for money, and get out of a poverty mindset. So the idea that this $1,000 is going to be available for all children born between January 1st, 2025 through 2028, that's in and of itself amazing. So cool. And it can grow and build. And if you recall, the last time we talked, it was about bonds. And I shared about your grandmother giving you a bond. This is better than a bond ever was. And so it's going to grow over time. And that in of itself is just amazing. It's an opportunity to learn about money.
To learn about money, absolutely, and to understand what compound interest looks like. So what kind of an impact are we looking at? Yeah, what's the impact down the road?
Well, so it's tied to the stock market, to the primary stock market, which is fine, and it's been growing between 7 and 9% each year. But over 18 years, that's going to be it's going to be a big return. Now, I'm not going to say it's going to be a huge return if the parents don't donate on top of it, because the $1,000 will turn into somewhere near $5,000, which with inflation, that's not going to be a ton of money. However, just like when a kid gets a bond when they're little from their grandma, it's like, how does that money work? How does that compound? How does that work in my life? So that in and of itself to me is brilliant. And the parents can donate, but also can the employers, your grandmother, your friends, nonprofits. There are so many ways that people can donate money that this potentially could turn into hundreds of thousands to millions of dollars if it's contributed to. And we as grown-ups don't even invest for our retirement. So imagine a newborn having $1,000 investment account. Oh my gosh, that's just amazing to me.
Fantastic and wonderful for parents who don't have that $1,000 to start with. And $1,000 is nothing to sneeze at, even in today's economy. I mean, someone hands you $1,000, you're not going to say no to it, right? And before we get into just kind of how it works exactly, and maybe how the parents can also contribute, what is the Dell donation component of it?
That is so brilliant. Michael and Susan Dell have contributed $6.25 billion with a B dollars, which it's $250 for each child that receives it. Now, the brilliant part about them is that they're reaching out to the lower income brackets. The way you qualify is your child has to be 10 years old or younger, and be in a zip code with a median income of $150,000 or less. So they're really reaching out to this group of people that don't even understand money, that have been spending their whole life believing that someone's taking care of them with handouts and all of these programs. And the fact is this helps them stand up on their own 2 feet in a way that is not going to be known for 18 years. I am so excited about this, but that's 25 million children are going to get that Dell donation. How beautiful are Mike and Susan? That's just so beautiful that they really want to contribute to the youth of our country.
Absolutely. And I mean, you're just setting people up for success when you start investing early, and you can't touch it. So let's talk about some of the rules attached to these accounts, because this is not something that you put $1,000 in, the next year you can take it out. No, it has to sit there for a while.
Yes, it's much like if anybody's ever invested in an IRA, it's very similar to that. Once you start investing in an IRA, you can't touch it. And then if you take it out early, there's penalties. So this is an account that's set up to be deposited into, whether you deposit extra or you just let it sit there and accumulate for the 18th birthday. When they're 18, then the child's account turns into what is called an IRA account. So it can go on. They can use that account and keep it for their investment account, for the retirement account if they want to, for the rest of their lives. Wow. The beautiful part about this is that it is designed so that when they turn 18, they have a little nest egg. So they can actually take it and use it for college, which my opinion is in 18 years, we're probably not going to have college like we have today with all the AI. And they can use it to buy their first home. And there's so much conversation right now about home ownership, and people can't, the young people can't get into a home. This is so beautiful because you can use it to either go to college or to buy a new home early without all the penalties of withdrawal. Now, you could take the money out early if there was some emergency, and you know that everybody's going to try to, find a loophole to do things. I believe that that's not going to be as big of a problem as it might seem. That was the first thing that I was concerned about. I love the idea that it's just going to sit there and you're going to get these monthly statements. And so it's just such a beautiful opportunity for the youth and their families, because their parents may not be investors,
That's right.
to see how that money grows. What does that look like over a period of time? And can I put in a little more? There's up to $5,000 that the parents can contribute. And then you can have an additional 5,000 from a nonprofit. So you could
Wow.
potentially have $10,000 extra each year deposited into this account. And the beauty of that is, though, you don't have to do that. Imagine you just didn't have a Starbucks once a week,
Yes.
and you put $5 into these
You
accounts.
can save a lot of money that way.
Exactly. I think the thing about what most people don't realize is you don't have to make massive investments. That's why I teach about how to grow money, because if you really just deposit a little bit each week, it will grow and grow and grow, and then you have the compound interest, and
That's
it
right.
just it's magical to watch. I'm so excited for that.
Debbie Dobbins, wealth strategist, leave your money put. Just watch it grow and grow and grow. Wise and sage advice. Thank you so much for joining us again.
Okay. Bye-bye.
We'll be back after this.